really efficient, both ends of the court. What went right for you? And did you do anything different going in the game? Or did you feel different, or was it just one of those?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, some time, is a way to go to me. I just, just trying to take what they give it to me. So, one position, they gave me the baseline. So, I took that path, and then next one, the middle was open. So, again, I was just trying to work, as I said again last time, work on my athletic abilities, and then everything fell off pretty good.
Intrigue, biggest game in KU career, 18 and 8, 10 of 13 from the free throw line. What went right for you?
I feel like, me personally, I just try to just hold my hat on, playing hard, doing the little things, to help us win. And I feel like I'm a mismatch sometimes. If I got a little guy on me, I try to use my strength. If I got a big guy on me, I try to use my speed. And I feel like tonight, we did a good job of everybody playing downhill. So.
Just for either of you guys, Coach Self calls timeout when it's a one-point game early in the second half. What was the message during that timeout? And obviously, you guys come out with a big run after that.
Basically, just clean up. We're not playing against them. We're playing against us. So just trying to hold our hat on our principles. He ain't say it that clean, but that was the message for sure. That was the message.
And then, what was it like for you guys? I guess just with the sheer variety of lineups that were used in the first half, and I guess even the second half too, but especially in the first.
I mean, I would say we help us to get ready. We're trying to do some combination, to see where we are, what worked best for us, and then, I think we're still working on it. I mean, work out pretty well tonight, I would say. So we will look forward for that.
Trey, Bryson gets his first start. What do you think about how he, got it done?
Yeah. First of all, I'm a big fan of Bryson. I feel like he's not even scratching the surface of what he could do yet. He's 6'11", 250, something like that, and can move. So, we still got more to see out of him. And I'm excited how he kept his composure. They was hacking tonight. He wasn't getting a lot of calls, but he still was doing the little things. So, once he hit some shots, too, we're going to be a scary team. So, I'm excited to see him.
Flory, I think you went on a kind of a 9-straight run right at the end of the first half. Kind of tell me about one of your mindset. It felt like you were a little more aggressive and kind of taking it. I think you dunked on somebody, then you that contact layup, you hit the and one. Kind of go through your mindset during that time.
I was just trying to do my best. Obviously, they came out pretty stronger. Was hitting a lot of threes, and I feel like if we put the energy on our side, I think stuff will turn up our way, and then that's what I was trying to do as much as possible.
And Trey, I think Flory shot off a decent amount of post moves, basically not seen so far. Is this kind of what you guys see in practice from him on a day-to-day basis?
Man, yeah, it's not even the half of what we see. I tell Flo all the time, whenever he flips that switch mentally, I feel like he's the best big in our conference, in the nation too. So tonight was just a little glimpse of that, for sure.
In a couple of days, you guys have another nationally televised game against Duke. I'm wondering, both you guys were heavily recruited. I know there's some years, but do you know anything about those guys? Have you watched them, and just kind of any thoughts on the matchup and what it's going to be like playing in Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. Not trying to make it too high or too low. Another even kill game for us, but they like to play fast. They got some key players, but, we're trying to just take it one game at a time and not look too far ahead, but we're definitely ready for war with that one.
Trey, you talked about everybody playing downhill tonight. Mm-hmm. Is there extra emphasis on that when Darren's out?
I feel like that's our mindset, even when he is in the game. Darren is just so gifted that he can make step back threes, fading and stuff like that, but that's, where we hold our hat downhill and on the defense end, too.
And how about with initiating? Obviously, you got Melvin out there doing that, but do you or maybe Jaden or whoever, even Flory tonight, do you guys all look to share that a little bit more when your top initiator that's not out there?
Most definitely. I feel like, when we don't have Darren out there, I feel like that's, one of our best ways of scoring. Just everybody getting downhill, everybody being a threat, and tonight it kind of showed.
Trey, there were a couple times where they went on a little bit of a run and you got fouled, got to the free throw line. How much does Coach call on you to do that? I think you drew 6 fouls tonight and got to the line and stopped that momentum.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's definitely one of my roles, trying to get fouled, being a bigger guard and, a bigger guy like that. So I feel like it was really my teammates' job. We all stayed collected whenever they went on those loud runs. They made hella threes tonight, and I feel like we just stuck together and, fought through it. So I feel like if we keep building on that this year, we'll be good.
You guys led by 10, and they cut it to 3 in about a minute. What were you thinking at that point, and how did you finally shake Princeton?
I would say, we just need to clean up some stuff, just guard your man. And then I think, like we talked about, it's a way that this team will beat us is if we give up some threes and, some back cuts. So just clean up those tanks, and then I think that was like the message after the Cats lead.
What did you think of Trey's play?
I mean, I feel like he was the most energetic guy. He got us up. I even talked to him. I was like, when I was out, I was like, come on, Trey, pick us up. So, man, he can do some great things, and then I think he has shown us. I would say not a lot of them because, we still need to improve, but so far, that's pretty great.
Are you guys looking forward to going to New York, Trey?
Yeah, looking forward. That's definitely a big game, televised game for us. Got some big matchups there, but like I said earlier, we're not trying to, make it a bigger than what it's supposed to be, even kill.
Nah, you got it.
Hey, when Wilder checks in, what? Obviously, he doesn't play first half minutes very often. What does that do for you guys? What do you see, and how much does that get your attention, and in what ways?
Wilder been here for probably the longest than everybody, so he work hard. I would say, he really push us in practice to do better. And then, just a couple of minutes that he was there, I think he give up a pretty effort defensively. And then, just have to push, just push us up. If Water can do it, what can we? So.
Yeah, I thought Flory was he's the best player in the game in the first half by far, and gave us a lead because we obviously weren't any good till then. And then Trey did some good things too. So. I would say of our bright spots, those would probably be the two brightest ones.
And Duke Tuesday night, big match at Madison Square. Do you get fired up for these games? I mean, all the games are important, but
Yeah, we'll get fired up. I'm not in the best of spirits right at this moment, but we'll get fired up. We'll start watching. Well, we've been watching, but we'll certainly spend the rest of the day and getting us ready for practice tomorrow to implement how we want to guard them or how we're going to attempt to guard them and get ready for the game. It'll be a big boy game. They're good, and they're young again. Somebody asked me if they're better than last year, and I said, well, it's too early to tell. But this early in the season, I think they may execute their stuff better than last year, for sure. Now last year, they have 4 or 5 first-round draft picks and 3 lottery picks. So if I'm not mistaken, certainly, they're loaded again, and then they got a guy that, he could foul out a whole team. So we got to figure out some way to guard him.
Coach Trey said when Flory flips the switch, he thinks he's one of the best bigs in the conference, if not the country. I was wondering, when did you kind of see him flip the switch over the course when you guys had that slower start?
Well, everybody, the last 5 minutes of the first half. I don't know the exact time. But I'd say the last 5 minutes of the first half, we go from up 3 or 1 or whatever to up 8 or 9 at halftime, and that was primarily because of flow offensively.
So did you get what you wanted out of Bryson starting today?
I don't really think I got much of what we wanted today, period. I think that we can obviously play a lot better, but our ball and body movement was very poor. And when you don't move the ball and you don't help each other, and then kind of stand around and then end up not shooting the ball great, it doesn't look great offensively. So I don't think we really got, even with Flory and Trey. I think as collectively as a group, I still think individually they were pretty good and their numbers were good, but I don't think we meshed very well together as a fivesome at all today.
I'm sure you touched on some of it just now, but what frustrated you most, I guess, about the way you guys started out?
I thought, when a game plan is to deny back cuts, and they didn't throw it to them, but we were beat on the first possession twice. And then they got up 6 threes, if I'm not mistaken, in the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the half. That's how you start a game. And, switching up and doing all that stuff. I think that was poor. That set the tone. I was pissed from the beginning. Wilder has never entered a game that early in a game in his life. But I actually thought, he did fine. And because we didn't guard. Guys that it's okay not to be great offensively or whatnot, but you got to be good defensively. And you know, if you're not a great shooter or you're not making shots at this moment, then do something to help us win. And we didn't guard.
And just following up on that, I guess, bringing in Wilder, some of the other guys you brought in earlier than usual, maybe. How effective was that as a challenge?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Did you guys think it worked? No, but not at all. But it wasn't any worse. But no, I don't think by any stretch that was. But I did think that G played, at least he's a threat to score. He was +7 in 3 minutes or whatever the first half, so maybe it's a coincidence, but we actually played some of our better ball when he was in the game there at the end of the half.
What do you think of your three-point shooting, and do you see it getting a lot better?
It's got to get better. Yeah, it's got to get better. What were we, 5 of 21? And I mean, that's what is that, 23% or whatever? I think we're better shooters than what we are. Now, granted, if Darren's playing, it's a different deal because hopefully he's the one shooting, a third of those threes himself. But we're not obviously going to have him at least for the immediate future. I just don't know how long that'll be. So.
Will you know his status for Duke?
No. We got some things to discuss, and we're looking at. He's getting the best. He'll admit to he's getting the best treatment. I mean, all that stuff. But he's got tightness in his right hamstring, and he wants to be out there so bad. But I'm not going to put him out there till he feels well, and you can say or think, well, we're trying to win the battle. Well, yeah, we are, but the battle's not near as important as the long-term, so to speak. And we got to get him where he's not hesitant to play. We have seen him play, and he's pretty good, and we still haven't seen him whole yet. Think about that. We need to get him where he can explode without the thought in his mind that something negative could happen, and it probably won't. But I don't want to put him in a situation where he's got to think about that.
Was that a set play for Tiller on the three?
No.
Didn't that come right out of the timeline?
Yeah, we were going to play high-low, but he wanted to shoot it. So, yeah, I'm glad he made it though. That's good.
Bill, Trey talked about it. What's the kind of balance between Flory playing with aggressiveness, like flipping that switch, versus also playing in control when he's out there on offense? Like, how do you kind of find that middle ground there?
Well, Flory is a really good player, but he's not a one-on-one offensive player. He's a guy that plays to angles and plays to his athletic ability. Or if he's got a slower guy on him, face him and drive him. I mean, he can do some things to take advantage of people. The thing that Flory, I think, has to do against a good defender that's close to as athletic as him, he's got to pick his spots when he can go try to score and when it's not there, when he can be a passer. And a lot of times, he's trying to score in those situations, and then they become ridiculously hard shots, scoring over length when you're, he gathers, and now he's lost his explosion because he's set, and then try to score from that. I'd rather him catch him 1-2 and get right into what he's going to do. So I think when he drove it hard and spun and all those were reactionary things. A lot of times the other ones are a checklist, a process, and I think he can get more reactive, and he'll be better with that.
I think after Carolina, you talked about different ways to get Darren help from his teammates, them helping, and then that helps everybody. When you don't have him, when you're watching him, this team without him, do you learn anything about how you might want to use him when he is back, or how? I mean, do you see what I'm saying there?
Well, he can't shoot up every ball, but I think the one thing that we can certainly is be a better screening team for him, and we're a bad screening team, and that's some things that we've emphasized a lot. He'll make the right read and the right play, but we got to be good enough to put him in a position where when they're keying on him that we can play behind that, and he'll get good at doing that. But we gotta work for him because they're gonna face guard him like Carolina did or attempted to do, and they did a really good job with it. But you think about that Carolina game, he takes 14 shots and gets 22, and we didn't help him. So I think there's a lot of things that we can do to help him, but starts with screening.
And when he's out, he's got the ball in his hands when he's in the game, right? So who do you? Melvin has it a lot. Who do you look to initiate?
There's nobody really else but Melvin.
Right.
Melvin.
Do you want others to? I mean.
Yeah, I'm all for it, but Melvin is the one guy that Melvin can put pressure on somebody and get us into, make a guard forward pass, get us into offense and those things. I actually think Trey could be pretty good at bringing it up as long as it's not real hot pressure. Yeah, I do.
Just to circle back to Bryson, why did you want to go with Bryson today over maybe El Marco or anyone else?
Well, because we haven't had Bryson's played better, so we haven't really had anybody stand out in that situation. To me, Bryson's played better. He's still got to rebound. He's still got to play big. But those situations, I don't think that was a hard decision at all. Plus, we don't rebound the ball like we should. So maybe try playing our biggest guys to see if we become a better rebounding team.
What would you like Melvin's offensive game to look like when he's trying to score himself? Like, what would you want it to consist of?
Well, I want him to drive it. I want him to finish with his left hand. And I want him to shoot open threes. And he hadn't made any. He's a much better shooter than what he shot it. But we're not going to be a good offensive team unless we have more players trying and being aggressive to score. So he's got to do that because he's going to play. Melvin is one of our better players, so he's going to have to get where people have to guard him and not go under every ball screen and that kind of stuff, like they did Juan a lot, But if Melvin, he's just so fast. If he could just get where people have to chase him a little bit, that'll set up his quickness a lot better.
What do you think of the environment in New York compared to the other Champions Classic places?
Oh, Madison Square Garden, it's the best. To me, the two places to play this is, I hate to say it, but it's Chicago and New York. Those to me are the best. I think Indy's really good, but there's something about Chicago, and maybe it's because it's the second largest alumni base we have behind Kansas City, but there's something about Chicago and playing in the United Center.
And the matchup against Duke, have you had a lot of great memories of the competitive games?
Great memories. Last year was actually a good memory. Last year we played well. That was a heck of a win, especially with Hunter not finishing the game and Flory kind of having a coming out party. That was good. And KJ, the way he played against Cooper and Juan was the best guard in the game. There were a lot of good things that happened last year in that particular game. So that was a good memory. We've also had some crap memories with them too. But the best memory obviously was in 18. That was the biggest game I think that we played Duke since I've been here.